Welcome back to Medieval Tales, where we pull back the chainmail curtain on the past's darkest corners. So tonight we are ranking 7 notorious punishments, how they worked, why they terrified, and the famous bodies left behind. Viewer discretion advised. History isn't always pretty. Burning at the stake. Fire, the medieval cleanser of heresy. Courts from France to Bohemia embraced burning as a purgation of the soul. A tall oak post was planted in the town's busiest crossroads. The condemned, often priests turned heretic or women labeled witch, were chained waist-high, while clerics urged one last confession. Kindling reached the shoulders. If the prisoner was lucky, a hemp noose or bag of gunpowder ended the agony fast. But mercy cost extra and was seldom granted. Joan of Arc felt the blaze 3 times in 1431 because officials kept raking embers back onto her half-charred body to ensure nothing remained for relic hunters. Jan Hus reportedly sang psalms until smoke throttled his lungs in 1415. Drafts of wind sometimes burned through wrist ropes first, causing victims to pitch forward, prolonging their suffocation rather than ending it. When the coals died, ash was shoveled into the Seine or Rhine, so no martyr's shrine could arise. For commoners, screaming at the stake was cautionary theater. For inquisitors, it was paperwork, auto da fe completed, beheading and decapitation. Decapitation. To medieval minds, beheading was the gentleman's death, swift, blood-clean, and therefore reserved for nobles. On the continent, an executioner's 2-handed sword demanded surgical accuracy. In England, a heavy axe promised the same, in theory. Anne Boleyn imported a French swordsman in 1536. With one elegant swipe, he spared her pain and bolstered his legend. Contrast that with Mary, Queen of Scots. In 1587, the axeman missed the neck, struck the skull, and needed 2 extra swings. Witnesses shuddered when her lips kept moving in prayer. Proto-guillotines predate the French Revolution. The Halifax gibbet and Scotland's maiden dropped weighted blades onto convicts centuries earlier. Heads then took a final journey, tar-dipped and spiked on city gates. London Bridge resembled a grisly classifieds page. Traitors advertised there day and night as warnings written in bone, hanging, drawing, and quartering. English law saved its worst for treason. First, the condemned was hanged, but not to death, just to the edge of blackout. Then came drawing, the body cut open, entrails hauled out and burned while the victim still felt every tug. Finally, the hangman's cleaver quartered the remains. William Wallace's liver reportedly hissed in the brazier at Smithfield in 1305. Guy Fawkes tried to cheat pain by leaping from the scaffold in 1606. He snapped his own neck, sparing himself mutilation but not dismemberment. Logistics mattered. Every traitor produced 5 grisly billboards, head plus 4 limbs, mailed to ports and crossroads. A single rebellion could decorate half the kingdom. The breaking wheel. Cross the channel and meet Europe's pulverizing wheel. Picture a wagon wheel lashed horizontal on a pole. The condemned was stretched across it. Then executioners shattered each limb with iron cudgels, weaving splintered arms through spokes. 2 styles existed. Immediate mercy meant a chest-crushing coup de grace after the smashing. Extended, favored in Germany and the Low Countries, left victims hoisted high, alive, to bake under the sun for days. Bandit Lord Peter Nears, convicted of sorcery and 544 murders, endured 42 hammer blows in 1581 before expiring on day 2. Locals whispered devils kept him breathing. St. Catherine's legendary wheel, later misattributed to fireworks, owes its symbolism to this very apparatus. Boiling, flaying, and oddities. Sometimes kings improvised. Henry VIII's 1531 Poisoners Act ordered culprits boiled, alive in oil, or wine. Kitchen maid Margaret Davy writhed for 2 hours in Smithfield cauldron. Sheriffs prodding her body to keep bubbles rising. Flaying, skinning alive, was rarer but memorable. Chronicler Matthew Paris accuses King John of stripping a rebel in 1210 and nailing the hide to Nottingham's jail door. Whether apocryphal or not, townsfolk believed it, and belief is what kept them obedient. Rumors of hot pokers, brazen bulls, or vertical sawings circulated more than they were applied, yet fear alone made them effective deterrents. Impalement. Head east and terror wears a stake. Byzantines and Ottomans used impalement sporadically, but Vlad III, later styled Dracula, perfected it in the 15th century. Victims were seated on greased, sharpened poles. Gravity did the rest, careful angles missing the heart to prolong life. After the 1462 night attack, invading Sultan Mehmed II found 20,000 Ottoman corpses arranged by rank outside Targovishte. Chroniclers say the stench alone repelled the army. Anatomy tells us some victims lingered 24 to 48 hours, conscious, praying for the stake to hit a vital organ. Pressing. English common law required each defendant to plead. Refuse, and the court couldn't confiscate your estate, so judges invented peine forte et dure. The silent was stripped, laid on the jail floor, a door placed across the chest, and stones piled one by one. Between each load, the sheriff asked, "How do you plead?" Most broke. Those who didn't, as early as the 13th century, gurgled their final breath under crushing weight. Giles Corey, 81, became Pressing's American epilogue during Salem's 1692 witch hysteria, croaking the legendary request, "More weight." The law was scrapped in 1772, but the dread of slow suffocation had already etched itself into folk memory. Across medieval Europe, rulers wrapped justice in spectacle. Flames that purified, wheels that pulverized, stones that squeezed away silence. Each method was propaganda, not merely punishment. Yet cruelty often bred rebellion, forged legends, and in Joan's case, saints. Tell us which execution chilled you most, or if we missed one you want exposed. Like, subscribe, and ring our iron-forged bell so you never miss another descent into medieval tales.